Um, when I was shuffling the cards out for you, what I see here is it's the city. It's like the silhouette of the city, so it's a skyline. There we go, skyline of a city, and it looks like a metropolitan city. And then I see this layer of fog, kind of. It was very heavy, and it was like at the bottom of the skyline, and it's lifting upwards into the sky. It clears up, and there are these stars and the moon. It's all coming out, illuminating the skyline. And what I feel though with this message is there's definitely a fog lifting in your life. There might have been a situation where things were very hazy, fuzzy, you didn't have a clear sense of direction, and the fog just sort of, lingered there for a really, really long time. For many of you, it might have been years, and you couldn't get the clarity on a situation. You couldn't understand, you couldn't make sense of it. And now you have, clarity. Now you have the visibility in front of you, so you know how to proceed. Now you can see, like, 2 feet in front of you. And so you can start planning things. You can start making things happen for yourself. And you have a clearer sense that you're on the right track, okay? So overall, it looks good. The spread as well mirrors the energy in that image that I saw. I feel like, let me talk about the relationship sector first, because if the haziness dealt with a relationship partner in terms of where are we going with this relationship? When is it going to happen? When are we getting married? When are we moving in together? When are we establishing our family of our own? When and what timeline is all of this going to happen? So I feel like the skyline and the timeline imagery, I feel like those line up. So you were very, very concerned about a timeline. When is this going to happen? And are you able to promise me that it's going to happen? I feel like you're getting the confirmation from your partner that it is going to happen. Okay. And this is like for those of you who have been seriously dating and you've had these conversations, I definitely feel like the fog is lifted. Your partner might have been down in the fog, down in the bogs, and trying to, secure a future for the two of you. And so they lacked a sense of direction. But this is the week where things are going to be made clear. There will be conversations had about the direction in this relationship. And I feel like it is taking off for the better, or it's heading into a more stable situation. So what I have here is the Ten of Coins and the Lovers. And the Lovers is heading straight into the Ten of Coins, the Ten of Pentacles, which is a solid relationship, a house, a stable family structure. So I definitely see a traditional wedding for many of you. A traditional wedding. I even see like the two different types of ceremony. One could be like cultural ceremony for those of you who are of a different culture. And then one might be in the church, like stereotypical standard church wedding. So I definitely see like a cultural ceremony as well as a church wedding. And receptions and things like that, of course. But I feel like one place serves like more traditional food, and then the other place serves more like, what you would find at a standard wedding banquet. So you have a partner where the two of you are amassing together. It's like a power couple. You're both amassing a lot of wealth. So with your combined income, things look really, really, really good. And I also feel like, you're at a point and your partner's at a point where financially you're very stable. So you want to settle down. You want to have a family. You want to build things up from the ground, and you want to leave a legacy behind. So whatever oppositions you have faced, whatever lack of clarity or uncertainty you have been dealing with for the past few years with this relationship partner, you're going to get your wishes fulfilled, and you're going to get that stability, that promise, okay? I feel like for some of you, you're letting other people interfere in your relationships. parents might not approve of a person that you're dating, and you kind of need to let that go, okay? Cut the umbilical cords and just let that go, because you're dating that person, no one else is. So their opinions shouldn't matter. Um, I don't feel like they're approaching this from a place of love. Like they're not telling you, don't date that person because, he or she is a drunkard or an addict. Like they're not approaching it from a place where they care about your well-being. There's nothing wrong with the person that you're dating. But for whatever reason, um, the family member might interfere in the relationship out of jealousy. Not so much out of jealousy that I guess of your, I guess like of you, but more so because your partner is taking time away from them. Okay, it's like you're spending a lot of time with your partner, and you're spending less time with a family member, and so the family member is lashing out in a resentful way, like you're not spending enough time with me. This person is hogging all of your time. Therefore, he or she is not a good person. So I feel like they're speaking from a place of abandonment and envy. I hope that makes sense. So don't mind don't mind that energy, and especially, who cares what people say? You love who you love, and you're going to do it anyways. I feel like you're going to, date whoever you want anyways. However, I do feel like, the bottom line is the people we care about, their opinions matter a lot to us. But if it's coming from a place of jealousy and resentment and abandonment, don't pay any attention to it, okay? Preserve your relationship. Um, I'm feeling as well, some of you have a little bit of a blast from the past here. I see a water sign, so this is a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. Very little change has happened, okay, since you last broke up with them. Be aware of that. So whatever the reason that you guys broke up in the first place, and I feel like it's lack of reciprocity, lack of emotional investment. So it could be from your end or from their end, but I feel like it might be from their end. They might not be able to match the level of your investment in them, and they might not be able to match your level of intensity. They might not be as straightforward with their feelings as you are, or they might not be as affectionate and as committed as you would hope. So whatever the reason was that you guys broke up in the past, they haven't changed much. There's a second chance with this person, but I feel like they haven't really changed much. So getting back together, you can have fun for a short period of time. The same problems will resurface. I feel many of you have gotten older and wiser. And so you have the tools at your disposal to, I guess, tackle the issues this time around. You definitely can do that. But the other person hasn't changed much. So I just want you to reiterate that. And I feel like you're still going to go for it. Even if you're watching this and even if it resonates, you're still going to go for it because, that is, you follow your heart. And I definitely feel you have the tools this time around to handle the situation, to deal with the situation, and to resolve a lot of conflict between the two of you. But just keep in mind, have your expectations be realistic, okay? Um, I see travel for many of you, and I feel like that skyline I saw earlier, the metropolitan city, going to a place with a lot of lights, watching the stars, watching fireworks, possibly watching the night sky, watching like lights on a bridge or lights over water, like sparkling on the water. So you're going to be doing a lot of sightseeing this week. And I feel like, it's a very romantic ambiance that I'm feeling. You might be doing this with a partner. You might be like traveling a lot with a partner. They could be traveling to see you, you could be traveling to see them, but I see like lights sparkling on the water. So going to a place where, it's like by the coast or over a lake or by a river. And I'm also seeing like a restaurant on a body of water where you can watch the lights and sparkle. It's really romantic, and I definitely see like you're not there alone. You're definitely with like a love interest or a romantic interest or a relationship partner. What I'm feeling as well with this energy about the fog lifting, the fog is rising. It's like it was very dense, and so it rested near the ground, and then it's like rising and moving up into the sky. So it's definitely clearing up. But I see this imagery about rising. So what I do feel though is your standards and your expectations have really risen. Okay, I see a lot of growth and a lot of like I mentioned earlier, older and wiser. What you used to tolerate in people, you don't tolerate anymore. You're getting definitely like just older and wiser, and you're a lot more discerning about what types of behavior you put up with. You're definitely you're definitely coming into a sense of I feel like having a being able to figure people out faster, and then being very curt about behaviors or things that you won't tolerate in other people. So I definitely feel this energy here about, expressing yourself and being able to, especially like selfishness from other people, not tolerating it. And if somebody is going to exhibit very selfish or just, self absorbed behavior, you're going to mirror that back at them. And I feel like this is coming in from people who are very opportunistic. They might have, come to you and taken from you, or they might have like pretended to be your friend, and all they did was take, take, take. And when you need them, they were never around. So I feel like you're closing off that door to allow them to come into the picture. And I feel like it's more friendship related. Okay, like fake friends. I feel like you know who they are. And I also feel for many of you, you hang out in very large groups. So it's like you have a large group of friends, and you might have mutual friends with one another, or, like you've accumulated friends since childhood and they've accumulated friends. So when you hang out, it's like a big group. And when you have like get together, there's a big group. So you have your solid core group of friends, but then there are also friends that they have that you might not have always jived well with, but you've always been very cordial. But I definitely see some things coming to light about, this person is not very generous, or this person is a taker, or this person is or this person is just, manipulative, or whatever the situation is. So I feel like you've always seen it, but you've always been cordial because they are a friend of your friend. So this is the week where I feel like you're going to make your feelings known, and you're going to be closing your emotions off to this person, because they have proven time and time again that they're not going to, be the person that you want in your life. Okay. Um, yeah, I see a lot of travel, a lot of movement with this spread. And I feel like, you need to get away. I don't know why, but I feel like the work situation hasn't been too great. I see a little bit of isolation in the work environment, not feeling like that sense of camaraderie, not feeling like you belong, not feeling like you stand out in some way. And Aries, you guys have to stand out in some way for you to feel at peace at home, and to feel like, you belong. So I feel this element about, work has got you down. Um, and I feel like, your refuge might be home, might be family, might be, your lovers, your significant other, your friends, and especially traveling, looking at new sites, looking at new things, and being able to see new horizons, new ventures, and especially new things that you can work towards. Um, Whatever it is with family members as well, you love them, but you have really strong the people in your family, they have really strong personalities. I see kind of like, if you ever get together with your family, everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an opinion. No one's very passive or even passive aggressive. Everyone likes to tell each other what to do. Everyone's really bossy. Everyone's just very highly opinionated. And, so of course they're going to tell you, like, down to what to wear. They're going to tell you, you should not date such and such. You should not wear this. You should not wear that. You should do this. You should do that. So, it's just something that they do because they have very, very strong opinions. But it's hard for you not to take it to heart. I feel like, you're going to do what you're going to do, but it's really hard for you to not take it to heart, especially when somebody says it so with such conviction, right? The most convincing things that people can do is, they can convince through their sheer sense of conviction. So it's not so much the information that's presented, it's just the way that they present the information. It's the tone, the attitude, the demeanor. So it makes you feel like, hey, maybe they're right, but no, stick to your guns. You're with this person for a reason. And I just feel like, family interfering in everything. Um, Family interfering. Some of you come from like blended families, stepmom, stepdad, step siblings, and things like that. Others of you, I feel like there might have been like a divorce situation too, where you have children with an ex, and then you have to kind of co-parent. So it can get a little bit messy. I wouldn't say messy, just complicated. It is complicated, right? And it's challenging. We don't want to step on people's toes. They don't want to step on your toes. So it can get like, it can become difficult. So I just feel like, there's just a lot of people meddling. Um, I'm also feeling as well, I started talking about this and then I got sidetracked. Um, Raising your standards. Okay, so once again, this I started saying you are getting older and wiser. So I feel like whatever you tolerated in the past with relationship partner, you're not tolerating anymore. And so I'm taken back to this person who is coming back into the picture. And I just feel like, yes, you can work at things because now you have a lot more self-awareness. Um, you will behave differently to make sure the relationship work. But if the other person hasn't changed, then we're going around in circles. So I feel like the relationship needs to be worked at by both people, not just you. You can force it. You can try to single-handedly force it, or you can, single-handedly try to make it work. But if the other person has not changed, or if is not 100% on board, it's not going to work out. So I just feel like I have to mention that again, because it's all about this rise, this ascension. You have to set a better precedent. You have to set a higher bar for yourself. And so going back to the person from the past, I just feel like it's a merry-go-round. Um, I'm also seeing, waving goodbye to some people. Okay, like I can no longer have you in my life. You're a taker. I can no longer tolerate your selfishness. I can no longer tolerate your behavior, the attention seeking, the like withholding affection out of resentment and jealousy and things like that, like control issues as well. Like I don't feel like you're putting up with that. And in the past, you might have thought, oh, this person is jealous that I was with somebody else or I was out with my friends. And, it was adorable. It was cute. It showed me that they care about me. But now you're realizing, no, that's manipulation. That's control issues. That's not healthy. I'm not going to be in it. But I feel like it took, multiple tries for you to come to this point where you realize and you can really identify and label things and kind of accept things for what they are, which is good. Like seeing the situation for what it is. And you're a lot more, I feel like, protected when it comes to your heart as well. Not giving your heart away, on the first date. Okay? Not giving your heart away. Like not falling head over heels, swept off your feet, madly in love with somebody after a first date. So you're becoming a lot more calm, a lot more self-contained, a lot more discerning and discriminate, and just moving a little bit slower because you have this space of self-awareness. In the past, I rushed in and I get burnt. So now I'm going to, be a little bit more like go with the flow, see how things pan out, and not give my heart away so fast. So I definitely see a slowing down in that energy, but it looks good overall. It's like it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you're going to get there. And if that person jives well with you and if they're going to be the right person for you, they're still going to be there first to the last date. Okay. They're still going to be around. So don't rush into situations. Don't kind of, when we get swept off our feet, when we like fall so madly in love, it tends to be with the wrong person because we haven't taken the time to really get to know them before we give our heart away. So I feel like you're definitely being protective of your heart. Um, for those who are single and dating, be a little bit more discerning this week. Okay. Things are not what they seem. And I feel like by the end of the week, you're going to start to see that fog lifting. So be a little bit discerning. For those in relationships, I definitely see an escalation in the love, in the commitment, in the planning of the next step in this relationship. So it looks really beautiful. Aries, I hope you enjoy your week. I will see you guys soon and best of luck with everything.